Hello, Bashar.
And you, good day.
I want to say I love your expressive eyebrows. They're funny.
All right.
Also, wanted to thank you for being in my life and having me find you.
All right.
Two,
Well, thank you for being in ours.
that was 2 months ago. So I wanted to ask, I guess 2 months ago I saw a green light in the sky in front of my house, and I
Yes.
wanted to know if that was a spaceship or a
Maybe.
sign for.
Don't know.
Oh, okay.
We don't know the comings and goings of every craft, you know.
Okay.
In the same way that you don't know the comings and goings of every airplane and the airports on your planet. But if it is something that reflected something to you in your consciousness that made you wonder about it, then the real question to ask is, how do you want to use that experience? What does it do for you? What did it get you to think about that otherwise you may not have thought about? And in that context, it is always accurate, whether it's actually a craft or not. Because there are many things that your higher mind will do, many things that you will do for yourself in that way that may not necessarily be as prosaic as an actual craft, but may serve the same function because you know what it is that will actually trigger you to look in a different direction, to think about things you didn't think about before. So it's really about the effect more than it is about what is the actual object doing that.
It brought me.
And again, you can always go by our quote unquote rule of thumb for UFO sightings. And that simply is, if you're not sure whether or not it's a spacecraft, then it isn't, even if it is. Because why spend time wondering? If it's going to be an absolute certainty that it's a craft, believe me, you'll know. But if you're guessing, why bother?
Okay, also around that same time or night, I got a knot on the back of my head.
Yes.
Felt like a bruise, and I was
Yes.
just wondering if I was visited or taken.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
No, I had nothing to do with it. But you're welcome.
Can you tell me more about that?
I can tell you that you experienced a visitation from the beings that you typically call the Greys.
Okay. Um,
Readjustments were made.
so that's what brought me here today, and I guess the permission slip is. Can you expand on homosexuality and being gay, bi, or transgender
Yes.
on this society?
Well, many people on your planet have been raised to have a lot of fear about all the different kinds of energies that everyone contains. So many other beings on your planet have decided that they will act as an example of the different kinds of energies and the different kinds of expressions that a human can represent. And therefore, your society is full of all sorts of different ways of representing the concept of gender and sexuality and expression and consciousness to give everyone an understanding that you are far greater and have the ability to express yourself from far more directions than you think, and help people loosen up their fears about what it is they contain so that they don't have to fear reflections of those things when they show up in their lives. So you're helping each other get used to the idea that you're really a multidimensional being and can express yourself in a number of ways.
And these people, like they fall in love, like from the heart to heart, or heart falls in love with another heart, no matter of the body.
Well, yes, in a sense. Because if a consciousness vibration recognizes a compatible consciousness vibration, then there is always a purpose to that attraction. And the purpose fundamentally is always in any relationship that everyone involved in the relationship aids and assists the others in the relationship to learn what they need to learn to become more aware of more of who they are. That's what relationships are for. And therefore, of course, that can happen from many different directions in many different ways through many different expressions to reveal the differences within your consciousness.
Thank you.
Does that help?
Yes. Can I have one more question?
That was a question.
Okay.
Now I suppose you want another one.
I was I was wondering if I was indigo or I have like
You do have some indigo vibration, yes. As we have said, what is your age?
27.
Yes. The people that have been being born on your planet for the past 30 years or so are not just a new generation, they are a different species. There is more activation of the genetic markers that were originally created in Homo sapien by the Anunnaki. You are already all a hybridized race, but some people now will allow themselves to remember more of who they are more quickly by entering your society at a later date than others did, to bring through the recognition that it's all right to express more of what you are as a being and to remember more of who you are. So many people call that an indigo vibration because it is a higher frequency vibration. But most of the beings in the last 30 years are truly another species because new genetics are opening up within them that have been there all this time but have been dormant.
So,
This is one of the ways in which you will proceed in the natural evolution towards becoming, as a planet, the sixth hybrid race.
so that feeling that I have inside my was it heart or stomach or anxiety, was that is that a part of it of
Yes,
being indigo?
yes, yes, yes.
I just okay.
How do you wish to use that in your life? How do you wish to use it to expand your reality and act on your passion more readily?
I guess I thought it was depression or something else or that feeling.
Again, as we have
Yeah.
already said, you experience things the way you define them. You understand?
Yes.
Your definitions absolutely color and filter your experience of physical reality because physical reality is just your projection. Physical reality doesn't exist without your perception of it. It doesn't exist on its own empirically. It exists in a variety of ways on its own because everything exists. But your experience of physical reality doesn't exist until you create an idea, a perception, a definition for yourself in order to experience it. Does that make sense?
Yes. Thank you.
Does that
That's
help you?
yes. Thank you
Thank
for talking
you.
to me. Thank
Hi, Bashar.
I know you. Good day.
Um, so I'm a very grounded person, and I find it very difficult to connect, like you speak about a higher frequency
You know that
consistency.
that's just a belief, yes?
So that's my belief, and I was wondering if you could support me on how to shift
All right.
to
Well,
do
first and
something.
foremost, what positive things do you get out of being a grounded person?
Um,
Because obviously there is benefit to being grounded, yes?
I like to think I have a clear perception and a balanced mind
All right.
um, to
Any
take
other
on issues.
positive things you get out of being grounded?
Um, I'm not sure.
Well, how about if you first feel that you are a very grounded person, that grounded state is what will actually give you more ability to explore ideas that many people feel might actually sort of unground them, but you're so grounded that that won't happen. You'll remain balanced. How about that positive definition? So you don't have to fear that the exploration of things that might seem a little bit heady will unground you because you are so used to the idea of what the vibration of grounding is that you can use that to balance yourself and remain grounded in whatever way you really need to remain balanced in the way you need to while you're exploring these high vibrational esoteric things that maybe other people find takes them sort of out of the physical realm in their head.
Well, I find that I have difficulty processing those like higher frequencies and staying with
Yes,
and
but that's
understanding it.
just because of the idea that you have, while being grounded, a contrary definition that exploring those things will make you ungrounded. But I'm telling you it won't, because you're grounded enough to handle it. That's what I'm telling you. You need to find the definition that says you will unground yourself. And once you find that definition and realize that it doesn't have to be true for you, you'll be more capable of exploring and understanding those things because you won't also have the fear that exploring those things will unground you,
So give myself the permission slip to go there.
knowing that it will not unground you.
Okay. Thank you.
Yes.
Next question. I have a lot of passions, but I have a difficulty committing, especially career wise, what I'd like to do.
Well,
Um,
what is your highest passion at this moment?
Coaching and supporting people in feeling good about themselves, finding their They're happy.
This is an expression of your highest passion at this moment. Yes?
Yes.
All right. Then what are you doing here talking to us? Is this also an expression of your passion? Coming here today and having this talk?
Learning from you. Yes.
So what did you actually do? You actually recognized that in a moment when it wasn't necessarily possible for you to act on one passion, you looked around for opportunities and options, and you picked one that seemed to you to be more exciting than another, and you acted on it, even if it had nothing at all to do with your coaching directly. The idea of acting on your highest excitement, as we explain it, never needs to have to do with a particular career. We are just telling you every single moment, whatever options are available to you, no matter how small they may seem, whether they seem connected to anything else or not that excites you, if there is at any moment one option out of all the options available to you that is more exciting than the others, that's what you act on to the best of your ability with no insistence on what the outcome ought to be. And if you just keep doing that, it will expand into synchronicities and situations and opportunities that will allow you to express all other forms of expression of excitement as well, because all excitement is connected. It's all one thing expressing itself in different ways. So following the thread, however it appears, will always lead you back to the other forms and expressions of excitement. So just as you chose to say, this is exciting for you to do today, to receive this information in this way, then the next thing you choose when you leave here ought to be whatever is most exciting, even if it seems completely unconnected on the surface appearance to anything else you already are aware of that excites you. Excitement, when it comes in whatever form it comes, is a direct communication from your higher mind saying, this is the next thing to act on. Follow me. Follow me. Act on me. Act on me. That's what excitement is. And when you do that, you will find that it will organize itself synchronistically in such a way so that all the things that are expressions of your excitement will, to whatever degree they need to, support you in whatever way you need to be supported to allow you to continue to act on and expand your excitement, because it's a complete self-sustaining, self-perpetuating, self-guiding kit. Does this make some sense?
It does.
Is this sinking in to your grounded self?
Yes. Sinking in.
It really is just physics, you know. If you want to talk about it from a grounded perspective, it's just physics, it's just resonance, it's just frequency, it's just vibration. What you put out is what you get back. It's that simple. It's just a machine. It doesn't have a mind of its own. Whatever you put into it is what it's going to reflect back to you. It's just a mirror. It can't make a different expression than you're giving on your face. But it will always reflect back exactly the expression on your face. So you always know what state of being you're in. You use it as a guiding mechanism. And if something seems out of alignment and you're uncertain, you have the idea of self-doubt, then you can use the feelings, the thoughts, the behaviors, what's going on synchronistically to help guide you and bring you back into alignment if what you're seeing as a reflection is not representative of what you prefer it to be. Own it and then change it. Does that make sense?
It does.
But it's all based on what you believe to be true, what you define to be true. So if you find that you are confused about that and your state of being, find out what kind of definition you would have to buy into to create the experience that you're having, to create the things you're feeling, to create the thoughts you're thinking, to create the behaviors you're demonstrating. It all works backwards to the blueprint, to the definition. Does that help?
It does. Thank
Anything
you.
else?
Yes. I've always felt like I have had angel or angels watching.
You all have guides.
Over
You're
me.
never alone.
What does that look like to you for humans? Is that like someone that's consistently by our side, or is that something that
No, not
comes and
always
goes?
necessarily. Because again, they will operate according to the idea of your linear time sense of what you need and when you need it. Everything always exists and everything is always here and now, but they also do have lives, you know.
I shouldn't keep asking for their support and getting me out
Their
of trouble.
support is always given exactly the way you need it, exactly when you need it. You are always receiving everything you need from everyone. If you don't perceive that you are, it's because you're the one blocking it, not because it's not coming to you. Because it's always flowing. If from nothing else, from source. It can't stop flowing, or you would not exist. So you are always receiving. If you don't perceive that, it's because you're blocking the reception with the definition. Let go of the definition, and suddenly you will perceive that you are constantly flooded with information, support, guidance, and help and love. It's never, ever, ever, ever stopping. Ever. You are existing in a constant sea, a constant flow of guidance, support, energetic love. It never stops. If you don't perceive it, find out why you're blocking it. All right?
Thank you, Bashar.
Does this help you?
Very much.
Thank you.